And then so-and-so said something, and I went, oh, really? And I go, yeah, this guy's saying this. And he goes, just tell him this. This guy says boo. And I'm like, really? He goes, drop this name and say he says boo.
Welcome back, everybody, to a super gnarly episode of The Careful Boys with Mr. Paul Gomez here. Hey. And we're curious about your mob stories.
In Japan?
Specifically Japan.
Everywhere.
Specifically Japan, but anywhere.
Honestly, okay, but I'm going to summarize this for you. So I have this really cool tattoo right here. It's from this Russian guy.
Is that a lantern on top?
It's a lantern and a compass. Mm-hmm. So when you're lost, you have light. Follow the light. His name's Mr. Troshin. Very, very good tattoo artist. Unbelievable. And we were talking about, so when you talk about the mob, so he was tattooing one day. I'm like, dude, you know, you grew up in Russia. And he's like, yeah, he goes, I go, it's crazy like that. He goes, why? It's all run by the mob. And he goes, no. He goes, everything's run by the mob. He goes, America? He goes, Russia, government, mob. America, government, mob. He goes, you guys are more mob-like though. He goes, you have blue, Crip, red, blood.
That's true.
Very true.
He goes, it's the mob.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, so the Japan story. So in Japan, it's if you go like into Harajuku, Shinjuku, Shibuya, everything, the whole fashion industry happens right there. It's very locked down. So we were trying to open a store there through proper channels, and just couldn't get it done. Couldn't get it done. And then so I called my friend Cuts, who's from Osaka, and I said, "Hey, Cuts." He goes, "Oh, no problem." He goes, "Where do you want store?" I told him where I want. Next day he's like, "Go check store." Like store? Good. He goes, "Oh, done." I go, "Who?" He goes, "Taken care of." In Japan, they don't fire anybody.
Yeah.
So when you go to Japan, every taxi driver is somebody who's just retired. So they just become taxi drivers, right? So when you look at things like if you go, the city's the mob. It's almost better to deal with the mob from the sheer standpoint, they're going to shoot straight with you. And there's not going to be messing around. So if you look at, so I have a friend people who own houses in Mexico, you pay the cartel as you pay any taxes in commission. So if you're paying them, they have your driver's license, they have your car, they have your house, and they protect you. And you pay them a certain amount of money, and you're just good. And if you don't pay them money, they're generally not going to hassle you, but the other people who would hassle you, you're not protected from them. Right? So it's like, I have guns. Do you have guns? Mm-hmm. Most of us have. And so when COVID happened, you could say I'm a mobster. I knew COVID has some pretty powerful friends in high places, and well, dude, what's going on with this thing? He's like, I'm also going to go down. He goes, yeah, it's going to go down. It's going to shut down. I'm like, well, how long? He goes, it's going to be a minute. I'm like, okay. So I went to Costco and I got all my stuff and loaded up my garage, and I got everything for my kids and loaded up their garage. And the guy at Costco's like, dude, you going on a fishing trip? I go, I might be. And he was like, okay. So everything goes. Sure enough, they shut it down, right? And then week happens, 2 weeks happen. Then it's like getting real, right? And like, I don't know why people buy toilet paper. Every other country in the world, you wipe your ass with your hand, whatever. So it's like,
that becomes the first thing that everyone buys too. It's so weird. What about water and food?
Right. So this guy walks by my house and he goes like this, neighbor, kind of know him, kind of don't know him, but he's like, he looks at my garage, he's like, wow. Because if it keeps getting worse, I know which house to come rob. I'm all, that would be a bad idea for you. He's all, do you have guns? And I'm all, lots of them. He goes, you shoot me? I go, just need to shoot at you. I don't know that I'm going to shoot you, my wife. So like, I can't believe you just told me to shoot him. And I go, no, I said I'd shoot at him.
It's different.
It's different. So
He started it.
If you look at every kind of things, there's always going to be good and bad in everything, right? Let's just be honest. California is run by the mob. The Pelosi's, the Gettys, the Newsoms. They're all run by the mob, right? And this isn't something that it's
They're all family. They've been hooking each other up.
been hooking each other up. So and how do you break that down, right? Like you used to have like where the neighborhoods were run by gangs.
Yeah.
Right? So when I grew up, it's your neighborhood, right? You just don't get out of line in your neighborhood. And if people come to your neighborhood and get out of line, they're going to get checked. You go in somebody's neighborhood and you just mind your P's and Q's. It's all about respect, right? So I think if I know Bart, he's probably a gangster in his neighborhood, right? Somebody gets out of line in your neighborhood, are you going to check him?
Probably.
Probably,
Yeah.
right? And then if you have your friends in the neighborhood and the guy still keeps getting out of line, then all your neighbors are going to step up and go, hey, check this guy. So when you need certain things done, that's where the government's the most corrupt thing on the planet. And so that's why cartels and all this type of things happen. And they become corrupt as well because it becomes money and power. Mm-hmm. But when you need certain things done in certain places, you have it taken care of. And that's why I go back to, it should never get to the top. It's like if you're warned once, you don't ever want to be warned. Just do that. Like my friend Frank runs everything down in Mexico, and he has to deal with it. And he goes, you get it. I go, yeah, I don't tell me twice. Like if don't do that, okay, and you do it again, it's like, I'm going to give you one more warning. And that's why I say I'm your boss when I warn you. I'm your boss when I hire you. Then I'm my boss when I warn you. Then I'm just not your boss anymore. Because I don't want to deal with you. If it's getting on I'm paying you to do something I don't want to do. Right? So on cartels type of stuff, everywhere's a cartel. And if you really need things to get done quickly, that's probably the best way to do it.
I want to get things done, but then I don't even know the right people, so I have to play like a square and wait, and I get screwed.
But you don't have to. Okay, so here's a really good example. It's how much are you putting it out there? So when we built the stores for Nike, I would just show up at midnight and work till 5 a.m. and bail. Nobody knew. And I didn't have to follow in the city rules. Just blacked out the windows and frickin' worked. Midnight till 5 a.m. and got the stores done. People are like, dude, how'd you get that store done so fast? Just went and did it when people want to sleep. People are lazy.
What if you have a square contractor that doesn't want to break any rules, and then you're just like,
well, you already broke the rules because you went to the city and pulled the contracts. If you're gonna not move, do whatever. That's the biggest problem that's happening in Altadena right now. And that's the biggest problem that's happening in the Palisades is people kept adding on to their houses without going to the city, right? And now when the house is burnt down, they go, well, no, it had this, this, and this. And they go,
not on the, yeah.
Here, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
there's rules for everything, but Tom Molly, best story ever. So when I had my record label under Warner Brothers, at first we were struggling, and he's like, I'm like, dude, he goes, I didn't give you a label to follow the rules. I gave you a label to break the rules. He goes, if you have to follow all the rules of Warner Brothers, you're going to be out of business. He goes, break every single rule here, and I'll run protection for you. I'm like, okay. And we just start breaking every rule. Right? You everyone knows somebody.
Yeah. When I was opening up my shop in
Hawaii.
Yeah. To get that going, the FBI came and wiped out the whole planning department, so no one was getting anything done and nobody was building. And I was like, let's go, let's just build, let's get it open, and then we'll deal with all the stuff later. And I got a good architect. Like, they're not gonna do us dirty and do some Mickey Mouse stuff, so like we'll pass everything, but nobody wanted to move forward. And then later, I find out all this stuff that it's just a payoff state. Like everyone works with in envelope money, and I was just like, I was the square that's like, well, I'm the outsider, right? Now I know, but
if I would have like Hawaii's gangster.
yeah, and now I know that. But I got screwed for playing the rules.
Yeah. Well, fair.
Hawaii's gangster, dude.
What up, guys? Come join our Patreon because there's hundreds of videos dating all the way back to 2019.
That's right. If you click on the link down below, you could join our Patreon, join us on the Discord, come chat with us directly, have a fun conversation.
And this will help support the channel's growth and new ideas. And also tap into our closer community by joining our Discord and get the opportunity to suggest video ideas like the ones you've seen. Thank you guys. Join our Patreon, help us out. Thanks.
See you guys there. Say hi to me.
Like, I spent a lot of time in Hawaii, and I knew some gnarly guys in Hawaii. And that Hawaii's gangster. That's why there's cane fields.
Yeah, it is. I find out it's like, man, it's the mafia out there. Like, but everyone looks so friendly, and they are. But the way that they play is like, wow.
Okay, so you have country and you have town.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a couple of situations that happen out in country. And there was a couple of things happen. And one of my friends so you have the longshoremen who work in town.
Yeah.
Those are the guys you do not want to mess with. And then so-and-so said something, and I went, oh, really? And I go, yeah, this guy's saying this. And he goes, just tell him this. This guy says boo. And I'm like, really? He goes, drop this name and say he says boo.
That'll suffice.
Damn.
That's all you need to say. He says boo.
Yeah.
Like boo. Like
Yeah.
boo.
Ghost, yeah.
Like a ghost. Like boo. And I went, hey, so-and-so says boo. And he's like, oh, all right. That's good. It's all good.
It's a longshoreman.
Those are the dock guys.
Dock guys.
Yeah.
The dock guys are,
Yeah.
they're gnarly. Because I have a bunch of friends who are dock guys, who are now dock guys here.
Yeah.
And the thing that's the best thing about Hawaiians, the best thing about, no disrespect to cultures, but most indigenous cultures will scrap
Yep.
and hug.
Yep.
Most non-indigenous cultures, like, dude, you hit me.
And they talk the most shit. And it's like, why?
They run their mouths.
Yeah.
Hit me. I can't. You scratched my car. Like, how if I like, the person who's doing the dirtiest stuff is getting zero repercussions. Like Cain Velasquez.
Oh, dude.
Done dirty, right?
Yeah.
So dirty.
Who's serving the sentence? Cain Velasquez.
How long is the sentence?
5 years. They're trying to get him out faster.
Hopefully. We'll
More questions. More questions.
What was the most like badass, in your opinion, event that you've ever thrown?
U.S. Open of surfing.
Oh, the Hurley Billabong in Australia.
In Australia?
The one in Huntington Beach with Aaron from the gym. That was the most
Riskiest, too.
U.S. Open of surfing Weezer.
Because you said like 500,000 people might
You'll
have
see
showed
this
up, right?
picture and you'll go, "There's no freaking way."
Yeah.
Just pull up images. Look at the crowd.
Damn.
That was terrifying.
Oh man, I need a bigger photo.
So how come you guys were successful and Firefest wasn't?
I know they had Ja Rule.
Yeah, what was going on here?
That's the beach. That's like the one with the band playing in the background. Like that one right there. Look at how terrifying that is. That's that is.
Holy shit.
This is 14 acres. This is
Is that the pier? Or that stage?
we built that.
Oh,
That's the
shoot.
pier in the background. This is all. It was so gnarly when it was going.
Fucking crazy.
When it was going down, I was like, oh, because there was an event where the Rolling Stones played in Brazil and the tide was coming in, and you can't even. All these people are back to the sand, and the tide came in and a bunch of people drowned.
Oh, shoot.
So it was so chaos. There was so much going on, but luckily I've run events. So when you run a show, you stagger the barricades because if people get pushed, there's always an out. dude, that 3 years I did that. It was like, it was really gnarly. Because the first year, I never had, and then the day I stopped doing it, they had a riot, and they never happened again. Because I knew how to not have a riot, because I had everybody parked south of the city, so they wouldn't go into the city. And then the first year, everyone, all the vendors or all the companies on Main Street were bummed because they had no parking. So I shut all the parking down there, and I would bus everyone in. And then if you had a nail appointment or a hair salon appointment, you parked at the school. We took you in a limo to your appointment.
Wow.
And you could leave, so nobody missed any appointments or anything. I had it dialed.
Wow.
But it was like that first year, I was like, oh no. It was like, yes, this is amazing, but oh no. If this goes bad, this is 5 times the amount, 10 times the amount of people they had when they had the first Huntington riot. The whole city will burn to the ground. But we pulled it off, and then I just learned every year. But that to me, of all events, that was the one where I was like, dude, we had Weezer played, Switchfoot played.
Wow.
We had
Switchfoot. Dang, I've heard that name in a
those
minute.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful humans. They do a really good thing called the Bro-Am Pro-Am Switchfoot event. So you have to surf, and then you have to surf Switchfoot.
Oh,
So
makes a lot of sense.
It's super fun. It's a really good, the really good brothers.
Did you have an idea of how many? Did you have an estimate first of like, oh, we probably could get like 50,000 or something?
I knew I could make it big. I just didn't realize, because at that point, like, so there's a certain point where Weezer was kind of like had fallen off, and then they did the Warped Tour, and we were like, Rivers just said we should do the Warped Tour, and they did the Warped Tour, and I was like, oh my gosh, they have so many hits. Like Weezer, like he'll just sing every one of their songs, and then they did it, and I was like, the whole world showed up to see Weezer. And then another big crowning jewel for me that I think that was a total game changer was Pop Disaster Tour. So it was Green Day and Blink.
Whoa.
So Green Day was on Warner, and Blink was on MC, I think it was. And Rick managed Blink, and Green Day was kind of just, they were kind of not, Blink had stole their thunder. Like 3-piece band, huge. You know, when I got I used to manage a band called the Aquabats, and Travis was the drummer for them, and then Rick called me and said, can you get Travis and Blink? So I ended up getting Travis and Blink. And that kind of really skyrocketed the band. So Blink's huge, and Green Day's kind of just doing their thing. And I went to Tom at Warner. I'm like, hey, Blink and Green Day should tour together. And Green Day's like, screw you, we're not gonna go support those guys, blah blah blah. I was like, it's no way. I'm like, dude, it'll be huge, trust me. And it was like, I was like, almost lost my job. My friends who were agents were calling and getting mad at me. Like everyone was super mad at me. And
That sounds huge. Just you saying Green Day and Blink sounds fucking crazy.
yeah, so I was like, I ended up getting it pulled off. They went out on tour together, and it was Green Day was supporting Blink, and then Green Day's so good live, and Blink's pretty good live, but Green Day's Green Day, and then boom, it was like you put Green Day right back on, and then they wrote American Idiot after that.
Wow. So that's why they came back.
Yeah.
American Idiot.
Wow.
So that would say for that, if I was to look at something where I had an impact that was like in music, that was the one where I was like, because Tom Molly, we used to have this thing called Town Hall where we'd go talk about the artists and stuff we were going to do, and then it was like I saw Madonna play right there, and like Fleetwood Mac, like all the new bands were coming out and do stuff, and then Tom Molly got up and he goes, hey, I just want to give a shout out to Paul Gomez. And like I still work at Hurley and Nike, but I have my other thing going. He goes, that was one guy who was willing to risk his job, risk every relationship to do the Pop Disaster Tour, and he pulled it off. And now Green Day's got American Idiot, the biggest freaking album in the world. And it was one guy who was willing to risk it all
Yeah.
to make it happen.
Dang, that's crazy. So you were part of their second wind.
Pop Disaster.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a cool event. And then this is a really good one. You'll like this. So My Chemical Romance. Do you guys know who My Chemical Romance is?
Yeah.
So Gerard Way, awesome. Him and his brother Mikey, super good guys. They're all really good dudes. my friend Brian Schechter was managing them. Then they would go out and tour with the Used, and I managed the Used. And I'm all, this band's amazing. And Tom's like, I want him to sign to your label. I'm all, my label's not big enough for this band. This band's going to be gigantic. And it was like, kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I go, they will. So I told Tom, I go, I will pay out of my own pocket. I will pay for all of it, but it's a 50-50 split with me on having, I get 50% of My Chemical Romance, this, that, and there. And it was like, in the 11th hour, they ended up signing him. And then you had two Cheers for Sweet Revenge, like that record. Then you had the Black Parade. And like, it was those things where you just knew it was going to happen. Right? And it's like now My Chemical Romance goes out and plays and it's just gigantic. Like every band, like going out, like seeing Limp Bizkit tour again, or Kwan, all these guys play their first records. It's because I'm old. So I see all these bands come out and play their first records and blow up. But that was a cool one to like actually just go, I'll pay my own money for this to happen. And then My Chem blew up.